Hey guys, it's Josh with the Test Experts, and we're here today doing fraction problems. Did you know that 3 out of 2 people struggle with fractions? Um, the first problem we have here is an SAT, ACT style problem with where we're adding and subtracting fractions. If 3/4 minus 2/3 plus 1/2 plus 1/3 is calculated and reduced to simplest terms, what is the denominator? So the first thing we're going to want to do here is, well, let me stop here. If you get this problem on the ACT, put it in your calculator. If calculators are allowed, just do it in your calculator. Don't bother with the finding common denominator because you're going to end up making a mistake. So, but if you're on the SAT no calculator section, or for whatever reason you have to do this by hand, you would do it this way. Start by finding a common denominator. Now, between 3 and 4, you can tell the common denominator is 12 pretty easily. Between 2 and 3, the common denominator would be 6, the lowest common denominator. But I'm going to go ahead and use 12 because 12 is a common denominator of 2 and 3 and is also the same common denominator I'm going to be using over here. So that will help us skip a step later on. So first, let's do 3/4. I'm going to multiply 3 top and bottom and get 9/12 minus, and the 2/3 I'm going to multiply by 4 top and bottom. So 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12. Remember, I can always multiply by anything as long as I multiply the same thing on the top and bottom, because essentially you're multiplying by 1. That's what allows us to do this trick. Keep the parentheses, the plus, everything in line until you're ready to deal with the next step. Okay, 1/2, got to multiply by 6 to make this one out of 12, and that'll be 6 times 1 is 6, and 2 times 2 times 6 is 12. Plus, again, we'll multiply 4 with the 3. So that's your first step. Next, do the operations. Remember, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, the denominator stays the same and you just do the operation to the numerator. So this is 9 minus 8 over 12. And this is 6 plus 4, which is 10 over 12. Okay, this comes up a lot with not just fraction problems, but any problem. Students get to this point, they get confused because of the parentheses. Once you're down to these, there's nothing left inside the parentheses. Parentheses essentially are meaningless and can go away. So what I have at this point is just 1/12 plus 10/12, and that, add the tops, makes 11/12. Now, good habit here. When you're on these standardized tests, the ACT and SAT, always reread the question. My first instinct is 11/12 is the answer, right? No, what was the question? What is the denominator? So the question is not, the answer is not 11/12, but 12. In our second problem today, we'll be multiplying and dividing fractions. The question is, what is the resulting integer of 9/2 times 4/6 plus 9/2 divided by 3/2? Now, when we are multiplying fractions, remember we're going to multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So 9 times 4 is 36, and 2 times 6 is 12. Keep everything the same as it was until you're ready to move to the next step. Now, dividing fractions, we're going to multiply the reciprocal, or as a student told me, keep, change, flip. You keep the first one the same, change division to multiplication, and flip the second one. The reciprocal is the fraction upside down. So 9/2 times 2/3, 9 times 2 is 18, and 2 times 3 is 6. Again here, well, here I can try either reducing this or trying to get a common denominator. Again, the parentheses now no longer mean anything because we have because we only have one thing inside the parentheses, so those can go away. These both look to me like they are integers when I reduce them, so I'm going to reduce instead of trying to find a common denominator. 36 divided by 12 I see is 3, and 18 divided by 6 is also 3. So my answer here is 6. Today's challenge question is 3/6 plus 2/3 times 4/5 divided by 9/8. Leave your answer in the comments below and check the description box for the correct answer. If you liked today's video, be sure to give us the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.